is a new character, and I think the viewers, the audience, will particularly like it. We made it based on you guys, so let's take a look at this figure. This is the outspoken and opinionated Marvel Legends fan on social media. Recognize yourself, guys?
5 minutes later.
Don't miss out. Don't miss out on Galactus. You still have, like I said, 504 hours, 3 weeks, about 21 days, if I'm doing all my math correctly, to get our HasLab Galactus. So tell your mom, tell your brother, tell your father, tell your sister, back to HasLab Galactus.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
There's a new Street Fighter on your windowsill. The weapon is peace, the word is chill.
Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying Model Behaviour, the world's most clickbaity action figure video podcast. So take off your pants, crack a beer, and let's talk toys. Yeah, I mean, come on, clickbait. How clickbaity is, how did Mattel succeed where Hasbro failed? It sounds like quite a controversial title, but it's an interesting take on things. And most importantly, I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers who gives you an interesting little premise in the title and then spends half an hour rambling on about nothing until you're like, get to the point! I'd be so tempted to be like, well, you know, Kickstarters first began in 1866. Back then we used to tie a lemon to our belt to show the ladies that we meant business. No, I'll tell you right now, Mattel used early bird techniques, and it worked. Okay, so here is the gist of it. We have two different Kickstarters. We have Galactus and we have the Mattel WWE Raw Ring. One of them is getting some salty kind of press and hasn't yet met its funding target, and the other one has smashed it. But that wasn't always the case. This is a new thing that has just happened, and it shows what can happen when you listen to your audience and go, people aren't biting on this. How can we make it more appealing? So if you want to know more about the actual logistics and the finances about Galactus, then oh my goodness, go over and check out Nerdzoic's videos on pay or pass for Galactus and whether or not you should consider buying more than one, because that dude he's like really smart. He uses numbers and stuff, and he explains how Galactus, in his opinion, is not a bad deal. Yes, it's expensive. Yes, the number of backers is huge. 14,000? That's massive. But he does counter that with the cost of production, shipping, prices, plastic, that perhaps they actually do need to set the target that high to meet their cost analysis, make profit margin type thing. See, I'm not as smart. Words are hard. Numbers are even harder. But the problem is Hasbro didn't give people enough of an incentive to actually go out and order en masse really, really quickly. Now let's go over to Mattel. Mattel had the WWE, WWF from back then, Raw set. It looks really good, but also maybe it's more of a niche. Wrestling is arguably more, I don't know what's more of a niche, wrestling or like Marvel Legends. I guess fewer people collect Marvel Legends than watch wrestling, but then hardcore wrestling action figure collectors, that's like a niche within a niche. So the WWE Ring only needed, I think, 5,000 backers, much lower. And it was a lower price as well. It was $250. That's pounds. It may be dollars as well. I'm going to say $250, pounds and dollars interchangeable. The same with the $400 for Galactus and £400 interchangeable. So the WWE Ring was crawling along so slowly. Originally, you got the ring, the entranceway, and that was it. Oh, and you got Diesel. You got Diesel as well. And it's funny that the lowest drawing WWF champion of all time was the face of the lowest drawing Kickstarter that they were trying to do. That's kind of amusing. I don't know if it was the lowest, but this is my narrative. Okay? We're going to stick with it. And it wasn't moving along at all. It didn't have the momentum of a runaway freight train. Let's say that. So they were like, how are we going to encourage people to do this? And they did what Hasbro did at first. They were like, hey, if we make enough sales, you're going to get a tier, you're going to get a stretch goal, we're going to give you Doink the Clown. And everyone was like, Yeah, but it hasn't even made its funding yet. And that's what Hasbro are doing as well. Now they're like, okay, we know that Galactus is kind of scraping and clawing along a bit slowly. Your first tier is Nova, Frankie Ray, Firelord. And people are like, because it still hasn't even met its initial funding. And people are like, I don't know that I'm going to get this tier, so why am I going to get excited about it? We don't even know that it's guaranteed. It might not even happen. We want bang for our buck. £400 or dollars or bucks, which I should just say bucks because it's more generic, is a lot of money. And we want to get as much for that as possible. So $400 for just Galactus, you know what? That's actually still good. But Galactus plus 1 Herald or 2 Heralds or even 3 or 4, oh my goodness, that is a huge bargain. But we don't even know we're going to get them, and it looks unlikely that we will. Don't get me wrong, we're going to fund Galactus. That is happening. And I would think maybe, hopefully we'll get Nova, but we don't know, so people aren't excited. So what did Mattel do? They went, okay, we're not just going to do a stretch goal, we're going to give you an early bird incentive. And this is what Hasbro need to do. Mattel said, if you order before this date, you're going to get a Macho Man Randy Savage exclusive figure with a commentary table and pack and everything. And only if you order by this date. If you order after this date, you'll get the ring, you'll get the entranceway, you'll get all the tiers, but you won't get Randy Savage. No, sir, you won't be getting the Macho Man. Yeah, see everything twice. See everything twice, yeah. And that was a massive success. Oh my goodness. Once they announced that, it lit a fire in people's bellies. People got belly fire. And they ran out to go and pre-order and put their money down for the WWE Ring. It smashed past its original funding goal because people were like, oh, we've got some incentive now. We've got to do this now or else we're going to miss out. And I've got to admit, I'm kind of salty. I'm kind of annoyed because I was on the fence about getting the ring, and then I heard about the Macho Man incentive, and I was like, I really want the ring to do dioramas with the entranceway for my videos. And I was like, oh, that's great, but I don't collect WWE. And then I thought, well, that's great. I could order it, and then I can sell Diesel, I can sell Doink, I can sell Macho Man, and that's going to at least half the cost that I actually spend on the ring. And then I realized I'd missed out on the time limit to get Macho Man. I was like, oh, dang it. But that was my fault. I should have kept my finger more on the pulse. But I missed out, and now I've lost out. But that is what people are worried about. They don't want to lose out. Because how exclusive is that Macho Man figure going to be now? Not only is he a I want to say Patreon, but a Kickstarter crowdfunding exclusive, but he was a limited time exclusive. Oh my goodness, that is a niche in a niche. That figure is going to be worth bank. And I'm annoyed that I missed out on him. But it worked. It worked so well. Now, WWE Ring is rolling along. Mattel have good public support. Public opinion is way more positive now. People are like, yes, we're getting the ring. We're getting the tiers. We got Macho Man. Life is good. Whereas Hasbro now still stuck going, hello? Hello? Anybody want a Galactus? Hey, you got any more of those Kickstarter pledges? And that's the problem. Hasbro are relying on what brought them to the dance originally. But you can't keep doing that because also the problem is Sentinel blew past its funding goal like super quick, and that gave Hasbro a big, sense of puffed out chest and some big old britches, and they're like, oh man, people love this. We can rinse this, not in a bad way, but just people will pay it. Let's do it. But the problem is, guys, to use another wrestling term, you went to the well once too often. Because we've gone to the well. We went to the well to go and get our Sentinel. And you know what? We've pulled up the bucket a year later. Bucket's still empty, pal. We don't have Sentinel on our shelves. And you're asking us for $400 when we don't even have the first HasLab project? That's a little tricky, guys. You're asking us to pay the best part of $1,000? £1,000? I mean, yeah, less than that, but the best part of it for 2 action figures, neither of which we have on our shelves yet. Galactus we're not going to see for well over a year. You can't just... It's not like Field of Dreams, alright? We ain't Kevin Costner. If you build it, they will not necessarily come. You have to give us a bit more of an incentive than that. And that's where an early bird special would have... Oh my goodness, it would have blown the doors off this thing. I guarantee you, if you had said, for example, top of my head, Firelord. If you had made a beautiful render picture of what a Firelord figure would look like, and you were like, guys, this is Firelord, you are only going to get him if you order by August 20th. I would have broken my back, backflipping over to the computer. I don't know why I would have backflipped. I should have just walked over to it. But either way, I would have ordered the bejesus out of that, as would everyone else. Because we're all Marvel Legends collectors. We know how it works. Once something is gone, it is gone. And that's why, oh my goodness, if they had done that and said, you will only get Firelord if you order by this date, people would have raced to go and get it. And I guarantee you Galactus would have been well over his funding by now. But they're still just going, oh, you might get this if you buy enough. If you do what we say, then we're going to maybe give you a little extra if you do it well. No, you can't keep doing that. You gotta give us more. This is actually a consumer kind of society situation. The consumers have more of the power. It's not like Hasbro going, oh, actually, I've got to go Palpatine with that. You want this, don't you? And people are like, yeah, but not that much. So you have to make it more enticing. The Sentinel gave them false optimism because the Sentinel is an army builder. So people were buying 3, 4, 5 Sentinels, which is baffling that, you've got the space and the money for it. I just got the one and it's going to look beautiful. But you can't do that with Galactus. I mean, you can, but come on. Like, how many stories feature multiple Galacti? It's the plural for Galactus, look it up. And it doesn't. You just need one Galactus. I don't care how many faceplates you have. You just need one big G, alright? And that's why Galactus is going way more slowly. And he's going to pass the funding goal, but it might dry up pretty quickly after that because people don't need multiple Galacti. So if you did an early bird thing, then that would get the juices flowing. That would get a tingling in our tummies. Because then once we see he's funded and people have done a big old push to get the exclusive timed offer, then I guarantee you he'd smash that first tier really quickly. And then people would be like, oh, let's see what the other tiers are, instead of speculation. You can't build a Kickstarter on speculation, guys. You gotta give us some more, alright? Because Mattel worked so well. I am gutted that I missed out on my Randy Savage. And oh my goodness, if Dave could go back to 2 weeks ago, Dave, I would have shaken him by the shoulders and said, damn it, man, go and sign up to that because you want those exclusive figures because you can flip them. You can flip them and it'll pay for the ring itself. And by the way, that's not scalping. When it's a crowdfunder or a Kickstarter, you're not taking any resources from anyone else. We can all get as many as we want, okay? But that's another rant for another time. Actually, I don't need to rant about it. A Big Nerdy did that already. By the way, Big Nerdy over on Nerdzoic, stop reading my mind and then doing my videos before me, alright? Because that's kind of stealing and you know it. You took my ideas from me before I could do them and then did them yourself back to me. Now that's some shady stuff going on there and I don't like it. But guys, that is my opinion. Those are my thoughts on the HasLab Galactus. Very different video today. A bit more kind of ranty, ravey, talky, but I hope you enjoyed it because I like these kind of editorials. So, bottom line is, I love Hasbro, I love Marvel Legends, and I cannot wait to get Galactus, but I want more bang for my buck. And I want Hasbro to not rest on their laurels and go, yeah, people will buy it. No, you got to give us some more because we love what you do. We adore what you do. We spend a lot of money on what you do. Case in point. But you got to actually treat us like customers who you're like, we want to earn your money and not we expect your money. Because there's a big old difference, and right now it feels like you're kind of falling on one side and not the other. So if you can kind of right the balance, then there's still time. There's still time to do an early bird special as well. I don't know actually if there is, what the lead time is on doing this kind of things, but think about it because it would be so nice. There was so much positivity and goodwill around the HasLab Sentinel. People felt excited about it. Once it was announced, bam! smashed that target goal, and everyone was just getting more and more excited. Every day it was like, oh, new tier, oh, this is so much good, positive energy. And then Galactus is like, womp. You know, it's a real shame. You had all that credit, and now you've kind of lost it a little bit by, to be honest, being a little bit overconfident. Your overconfidence is your weakness. Wise man said that. But it's true. So guys, give us a little more bang for our buck, give us a little more early bird incentive, and you can go the same way as Mattel and reap not only the benefits of all the money coming in, but the goodwill that goes with that. So guys, that's my opinion, and I'd be interested to hear yours. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, if you like what you see and you want to see more, then you can join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the... Wow, I just spat at the camera. I'm not sure if you can see that. Join the 6-1 clicks by clicking the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you doubly want to support the channel, you can go over to patreon.com/displaying model behavior and throw a few shekels my way. And by the way, I'm just saying that if Galactus ever came to Earth, legit, and was going to devour it, I'm just saying that he might have room on his little escape craft, you know, little vessel, little Noah's Ark type thing, for a special select group of people. Would he go and see who are the members of the model behavior not Kickstarter, what am I shilling for? Patreon, that's what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure Galactus would go check out who is on my Patreon, and he'd go, you know what? I'm going to spare these guys because clearly they're all good brothers. Just saying, it could happen. You never know. What I need to do is an early bird incentive for joining my Patreon. I'll look into that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Chill.
Cup of coffee,